Good morning, crew. I again, I don't know what I want to talk about, but I've got a day off from my odd job, and last night I figured I'd make the most of it. The whole getting ready to record just took forever a minute ago. I was pretty tired, so I'm gonna use me a little boost, and hopefully that'll get me going. I just, you know, I don't have much left, but I like to make the most of it. Like, my car broke down, and when I had this awesome place to go running. Now I have to run in public. Still get it done, but you know, I uh, I really didn't know what I was gonna do today, but I always feel better just joining my online community of awesome people with the best intentions and you know, good moral people who I enjoy talking to. I I figured this would be a good way to start my day. Uh, Maybe I could let in a little light. I like never have these curtains open because there's already no privacy here. There's the illusion of peace and privacy. You can have that here. But maybe it's changed a little, and I mean a very little. Uh, like when my parents come over, things just look normal as can be to them. But I know how anti-white it is out here, especially like immediately nearing me. Um, but I'm not here to talk about that. No, just to say good morning and, you know, see what I say. This is another one where I just don't know, but, you know, I, uh, I've been happy. I've been happy to join you all in our live spaces and, you know, be comfortable just talking, just sharing my thoughts with you all. It's awesome to do it in live chats and, to gather at the Shade Tree gatherings on Twitter. And, you know, I just, I'm feeling love and appreciation. A little slow. Like, I don't know what is up with my whole system. Just wanting me to wait or something. But I know how that's done. See, according to one of my favorite occultists, you start out with the element of fire. Um, when you're a kid, you can just, your foot touches the floor and you spring out of bed and you're flying into the thing you want to do. Where like there's more an element of water to waking up as you get older. Things are more slowed down. There's more thinking done, and by the time you get to your 30s, you should be able to bridge the gaps with the element of wind, where you may have a different way of expanding. You may have a way to generate your energy that may be a little more strategic, but you get it done. And, you know, dimensions are being added, like numerically, I believe fire is 1, water is 2, and wind is 3. You know, and numerically that makes sense because 3 is like the energy of Jupiter, which is a lot of complexity, expansion, and chaos. Like, it's very neat, Jupiter, actually. It has like 58 or 60 moons or something, and you don't know what's going on each one. I mean, or I didn't until I had seen it in a documentary. I don't, which one I don't remember, but I I saw that it has moons where there's like strong winds nothing could survive in. It's got somewhere like there's this one where the water is so hot, you know, it just burn everything up, but like the air above it, you know, it's just it's completely uninhabitable too, but it's like really really cold, and so it's impossibly cold in the air and impossibly hot in the water, and that's one of them. You know, you've got some that are just all on fire, and you know, uh, that's that's about how it goes. Something like that. I yeah, I like finding new ways to do things. Um, it's interesting aging, you know, like I'm still at a pretty young age. It's not too late for me to have a kid, I guess, but I do worry about that. Not wanting to take just forever in life. Don't want too many more years to pass. And, you know I can't help it if I'm alone. But, you know, the alone thing I've learned isn't too bad. You can be pretty kind to yourself. You can be as good to yourself as you want, you know? And then you get the treatment you want from yourself. And, you know, it'd really feel good if you know, somebody, you know, or somebody you like could just come over and message you. But, yeah, me and the friends I've made, we kind of faded off into doing our own thing, all of us, you know, where it's more about your job and your own family. And I have neither of those things, just an odd job for now. Um, which is cool, you know. I like to get out of the house, and you should get in motion, you know. Uh, I can't help but have a sense of healthiness when I've been in motion. Um, Sometimes I'll just put myself in it for the release of energy, just a little, just get some out, and you know it. You can, even if it's subtle, there's a mood change. I am not trying to blow smoke in your face, but I did want to see a puff of cloud in the lens. Uh, I hear talk they're going to be outlawing these um, like on the 31st, at least where I live, you had better not even be seen hitting one in public. The disposable vapes, if you want to carry around a bunch of parts, coils, fluid, and replace your device for no less than $60 when you drop it, and then cool, you're still free to do that, but the disposable vapes have to go. They even got rid of like sort of legal anxiety pins. Like you used to could just go to the tobacco store and buy yourself an anxiety pin. Um, Now you just have to have you just have to have a friend or so who doesn't have to go to the store because you can't go to the store anymore. That sucks, you know. I thought California was way ahead of us for that a long time ago, but gosh, I I changed my thinking about California a lot when I went free. It seemed to cause wardrobe malfunction. Don't know if this little end needs to be on my waist string, but there we go. But I'm just like, oh, stupid my state. Just come on. Other states have it legal. I thought we were edging a little closer, something, getting a little closer when I could just go to the tobacco store and buy a bomber or, you know, they had gummies which I was never interested in. Don't want to over talk about my good friend Jane. Uh, but she's been very much a part of my life, as you can see. I I got that leaf back in 2015, shortly before going into Job Corps. My best friend at the time said, "You got to have something to go in with, styling, whatever, you know, something that means something to you on you, you know." And yeah, his second baby mama hamburgered my arm. I was actually, yeah, it's manageable pain to get a tattoo there, but I'm not going to pretend it didn't hurt. Um, Now, when I got the green order, it did, but maybe for the it really just felt just all right, like just fine, you know, maybe for the wrong reason. But yeah, the dark part I had gotten in 2015. Um, that was pretty cool. Like, I felt like, okay, the years are going by. What am I doing with my life back then? And meaning always comes back. It always shows itself and lets me know that it's still there. You know? But, yeah, one of my friends in there had said, "Oh, you're 22 or almost 22. You're like right on the cusp of life being over if you don't do something with it." I'm like, I know, gee, don't rub it in. uh, I think I've lived an interesting life. It's just so boring when I can't go the places I used to be able to, can't go far like I used to. Um, and it really took a toll on me not to be seeing y'all's activity on Twitter the same. But uh, so be it until I can fix that. If there's something I can do. But yeah, I'm still going. Just don't know where I'm going today or now. Like to feel it as I go. I do a lot of things with feel, not in an imbalance where I'm just a walking emotion, but I love these, are so good. Don't want to advertise. But yeah, anything that tastes like spasmatic, man, there's something about it. I can't identify it as any flavor that's in nature. But that that tart and sweet, that combination, I just ha. So how are you doing? How's life? Yeah. Perhaps I should invite you to tell me in the comments. I sure welcome comments. You know, long as you're not being a dick. Or if you are, you're being the kind I've always known you to be, at least. Yeah. We have fun in the community. And, last year I was seeing my friends pretty regularly. Was it last year? Huh. Further back than a year ago. It hadn't yet become 2024, but was very near. Anyway, you know, I was living in my car and, of course, trying not to bother people with it. But, um, you know, the city where your people are, you can go to any city, you know, your right is your house, and so why not be in the one where you know people, and you know that sure makes you feel more at home. But when I got out of the town I was leaving behind to do this, to where it's better to live in your car, like it's still pretty bad, but it's a total upgrade from where I was. Um, Forgot where I was going with that. Oh, now I remember. Everything was so different, you know. The levels of, you know, just common respect you could find in towns south of there, where I was more from. It's just, I was disappointed and I felt robbed because, you know, these aren't my hometowns anymore. You know, we're not in Kansas anymore, Tato. uh, and there is a calling in life back home. We have to fight for home to come back. Uh, didn't go anywhere. It's under anti-white oppression programming, anti-white norms replacing the good norms. Uh, oof. Even this place, sometimes I think there's a little hope for this town. But, gosh, the other day I went to Walmart and I saw so much white guilt, like, you know the types of people when you see them. You know they're estranged from what is natural about them. Uh, you know that they've got a problem with their parents or tradition. You know, things you thought you were cooler when you thought was cooler when you were younger. Just and I don't really remember much, but this lady's pink hair, some fat people maybe, some tats, piercings. I don't remember what all I was seeing, but I was just like, I'm just like, this is terrible. I thought there was some hope for you people. uh, I just have to set the phone down for a second. You know, I asked this guy at the park the other day, um, do you think pretty people are pretty accepting of there being white out here? Like, they can say, "Fuck yeah, we whites are awesome," you know, and that they love white people. Can they openly love that they're white? Do you think like that's the kind of demographics in this town? Because I wanted to know his answer, and he he leaned toward yes, clearly. Um, like he said yes, but I he didn't want to talk about religion or politics. You know how it goes. Um, but we got a little 2 cents in each of us on the matter. I I told him, well, the reason I ask is because I find that a lot of people are, just like they have some trouble identifying as white. You know that and acknowledging this is something you can be proud of. Not only is it not immoral, but it's natural to love your own race. And it is, Um, I'm I'm not like a nature worshiper, but sometimes there's just some things nature got right. Uh, but anyway, he said everybody should be proud of. I didn't bring up nature to him, but he said everybody should be proud of their race, and then he made a reference to Cain and Abel, and then he realized we could have gotten philosophical or something. Like he just didn't really want to go any further into deep subject matter like that. Uh, and I got out of the conversation. Woo! I was stuck with that guy. No, but an old man gets to talking to you. You don't want to just lean all the way away from him to let you know you want to walk away. But like because I can talk for a minute, but I also have this thing where I don't want to interrupt people. And I had been kind of ready to go home, but you know, seeing his response, and it was as though you kind of get the impression nobody had ever brought these issues up to him, you know, uh, these concerns, and gosh, he told a pretty crazy story. Um, but he was a nice old man, it seemed. Uh, that that may have helped a little talking to him, but it probably helped more just seeing my kinfolk at my parents' house the other day. You know, I like to I like to see people I'm related to. I wonder how they're doing. And well, everybody went on to have a family, and I, you know, that's good. That feels good. I I think about the younger generations and what information they're going to have available to them. What kind of guidance will be available. Uh, will any, um, will, you know, will they have anyone around to tell them to love being white? you know, um, will something be cool other than getting away from who and what we are, like, wanting to be an Earth species or this alien or something. Like, I just remember some dark times where there's there's a sense of not being human, uh, and I know the reason for that because I'm in more control of myself than most people. Um, in the in the things I can catch myself in, things other people don't catch themselves doing, I uh, I would actually want to figure out about why I did, or why I thought or felt some way, or you know, uh, just a lot of people are very base headed to me, you know, um, concerned too much with low frequency stuff, and what they can get away with. Uh, uh, I just have none such concern. It's not that I have things to get away with. It's that I have somewhere to go in life. I'll never just assume going nowhere. There and when I lived in that apartment that I had to get out of so badly that it was better to live in my car, uh, it looked like life is over. Like, I'm just the guy who lives around this, right in the center of anti-whiteism. I'm just surrounded, for sure outnumbered, and I'm stuck with these people who won't just let me live. And, well, they still won't. Nobody will just let you live. Especially if you have any self-control, you're a rare breed, if that's you. They don't recognize you. You are an alien to them. Uh, I sometimes there was just the overwhelming sense like this is this is it, you know. Uh, and I learned from that it's this is never it. Okay, like there's there's too many factors in life that just people are not in control of. There's little openings about just reality itself that allow you to get past all these hard times and all this bullshit. Yeah. Um, and I remembered that's the case. I remembered this is never it, you know. So I'm going somewhere in life. Always. Uh, and you know, I hope you're feeling all right in your relationship with yourself, and that it is well with your soul. It tends to be with mine, but yeah, I thought I'd switch it up today. Just get on and start talking. Hopefully, I've been fairly positive. Like, not superficially either, but I mean, you know, I was watching my old videos the other day just to pass the time before my boss came, and I was bothered. I was bothered by the negativity in it. Like, even though the things I was saying made sense, I just felt like I could bring a viewer down, you know. And perhaps I was revealing too much in the first place. Thinking I may delete some old videos. But, oh, it kind of hurts to think about. Just kind of. I've lost so much art and, you know, cool things that, things I cherished, and, you know, if it makes my YouTube any better, you know, if it makes me a better representative, uh, I don't know what is bothering me about my eyebrows in this camera, but I looked fine looking at myself yesterday. Uh, I am. Start messing with myself if I look at me too much, I guess. Let me just fall back a little, maybe. I would like to let some light in here. It doesn't have to be this kind of lighting. I just don't know. Like, I don't trust my surroundings or the people in it. Uh, now you can tell that there's some sun outside. Probably maybe get that window. Yeah. And there I go again. Don't know if it needs to be there, but I'll just. Totally forgot where I was and what I was saying. Oh yeah, I had talked about uh, refining my YouTube maybe by getting rid of a thing or two. Um, just want to act natural for now. Just taking it in. I like to do some pondering. Pondering's nice. Can be. My cat had to go so my nose could clear up. Then I freaking hit my nose diving into a pool haphazardly. Well, was in the shallow side, but I had always done it there. You know, it's just something I always did, and freaking, I don't know. I couldn't like gauge what my cat was doing to my nose while I was sick, because that's one of the symptoms of the sickness. You know, there's restriction in your nasals, and you know, when I got around it again, freaking, I hit my nose, and I know I'm sneezing by putting my face up in the cat, but I I still can't gauge exactly what it's doing because my nose is plugged anyway. Because made my nose bleed. But no, I've left my cat with my parents, and I believe my dad was going to take him back to his old owner, who likely would have taken him in, you know, and understood, you know, been cool about it. But perhaps he changed his number. I don't know. There was no. Well, that's good. I still get to see him at all in life. He was a damn good cat. Just as sweet as can be. I I've been a cat guy for years, even though in my nasals it kills me. I had you know, the cat Sharps, who I recently gave to my parents because he was killing my nose, and or I don't know. I got to where I'm tired of having restricted breath. Uh, just I don't want limitations on my breath. There was this cat before him that was not Russian blue, which is supposed to be hypoallergenic. You know, you can have allergies and still have one. They say. Well, I don't know what breed. You know, just he had stripes. I know the fur pattern. You know, but we had some special food to give him. Uh, you know, my mom had gotten me this foam to put on his fur, and you know, because of these steps or them being Russian blue cats, it is less allergic reaction. But it's not the full package like being catless, you know. But it was neat being a cat daddy. I still want to have a cat, but yeah, the last one he was so kind to me and my parents. Just loves to be pet, absolutely loves it, and well, I'll get to see him when I go to my parents at least. Uh, my mom noted I am keeping my place profoundly cleaner than she knows me to, and that felt good. I thought she was going to stop telling me at some point, but she's like, "No, really, I can't believe it." So, you know, I like my parent when my parents tell me that they can still see I'm trying. Now, I still I still have the weirdest dreams where I'm fighting my dad at the end of the dream. And it's not like we were, clobbering each other in life. You know, it's not like we were beating the hell out of each other. I've just, you know, had my ass busted, including when I figured there's no way I should. Uh, I've sure had them abuse the broken system against me, my parents. Uh, or as it's also properly called, our regime. You know, they've done me a lot of wrong, but I uh, I try to keep it positive with them, you know. But like I know, despite me having dreams in which I fight my dad, that our relationship is not like the dream. There was a lot of disagreement, and I can't just pretend they've never stabbed me in the back before. But that's very personal, and I don't want to air out our dirty laundry. And sometimes I look at I can see the damage other people's parents did to their kids on them. Like some people just wear the parents either from what their parents did or from what they didn't do, didn't bust their ass or something. Uh, just, uh, you know when your parents don't look so bad, and I'll put it like that. You know when you actually had a pretty good couple of parents from looking out at the rest of the world, and, you know, I, I was born in 93, so, and my daddy's like, I always estimate 75. He's just he was there to teach me things in old school ways that people have missed out on. I can see a lot of people have missed out on that. Um, like there was a time when he could tell the family to turn off the TV, and you'd better do it, and we did. You know, like you know, they would offend his old-fashioned sensibilities, and though he won't admit it, his white sensibilities. I have trouble telling them about anti-whiteism, but they've learned this is just what I do. I let people know there are people who intend to hurt us on, even if it's subconscious, the basis that we're white. Like, this isn't something being overlooked or let anti-whiteism is not being let go of when when you are under attack. It's not removed from the equation at some point. Anti-whiteism is in it. It's in the person, the perpetrator. Um, and that's all they are to me. It's just perpetrators. It's the lens they'll go to be anti-white. There's just no shame in them. They have no responsibility. Anti-whites, that is. You know, I'd say my family altogether is at least better than white neutral, or, I don't have any self-proclaimed commies I related to. I don't have any self-proclaimed commies I'm related to, but communism is just a good guy term for, make yourself the good guy by announcing you're anti-white. That's the purpose of that term. It's a mean pathogen. Um, but yeah, I just like to tell you how I'm doing, and it looks like I'm about out of time. Uh, yeah, I've been able to tell uh, probably more my sister about anti-whiteism, but that's been difficult. But like, she gets it that I don't want to harm non-whites. Like, she totally gets that, and my parents get it where before I used to say, those inners are so violent, and it was true that the non-whites who were anti-white I had dealt with, they like violence, they like the idea of it and flirting with getting very near to it. They, yeah, the it's anti-whites who are violent, and anti-whiteism is never removed from the equation. So it really enables you to just encompass the whole spectrum of what's being done to us as a race.